Students, in this video we will discuss about the solution. So, a solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances such as lemonade and soda water. And what is homogeneous mixture? You have studied about that. That if particles or components of mixture spread uniformly throughout the mixture, we call that mixture as a homogeneous mixture. And solution has two components or two type of substance. First is solvent and second is solute. Solvent means the component of the solution that dissolve the outer component in it, such as in the solution of water and sugar, water is solvent, and the quantity of solvent always is higher and the quantity of solute always is lesser. And the solute means a component of the solution that is dissolved in the solvent, such as sugar is solvent in the solution of sugar and water. Next is properties of a solution. A solution is a homogeneous mixture. The particles of a solution are too smaller, so they cannot be seen by naked eye. Because of very small particle size, they do not scatter a beam of light passing through the solution, such as we saw in the case of suspension and colloidal solution. The solute particles cannot be separated from the mixture by the process of filtration because particles of solution are too small. The solute particles do not settle down when left undisturbed. So, and that is a solution is stable. And generally in the solution, solvent component always found in liquid phase and usually found in liquid phase, but solvent may be found in a gaseous and solid phase. Concentration of a solution. Concentration of a solution can be defined by the saturated solution and unsaturated solution term. So what is saturated solution? When no more amount of solute can be dissolved in a solution at a given temperature, it is called saturated solution. If we starting to add the sugar particles in water, and we take a particular amount of water and starting to add some amount of sugar in it, then one condition reach, at that point we cannot we will not be capable to add more sugar in water. So that condition of solution we call saturated solution. Next is unsaturated solution. When more amount of solute can be dissolved in a solution at a given temperature, it is called a unsaturated solution. Such as if we make a solution of sugar and water, in that condition we add sugar in a fixed amount. At that condition, in that solution, it is possible to add some more sugar in that solution. If so in that condition, solution of sugar and water is unsaturated solution. Next is solubility. The amount of the solute present in the saturated solution at the given temperature is called its solubility. So saturated, unsaturated solution and solubility is the terms that define the concentration of solution, and that tells about the concentration of solution. So concentration of a solution, the concentration of a solution is the amount of solute present in the given amount of solution. Or we can say that also the amount of solute dissolved in a given mass or volume of solvent is called concentration of solution. So by both these two lines, concentration of a solution can be defined. And concentration of solution can be found out by using this formula. These two formula: mass of solute upon mass of solution multiplied by 100, and mass of solute upon volume of solution multiplied by 100. So this formula, first formula is said as mass by mass percentage of solution of a solution, and next is called as mass by volume percentage of a solution. So let's discuss about the separating methods of the component of a mixture. So separating the component of a mixture. Different methods of separation are used to get individual components from a mixture, and you know that by the components mixture is made up, and in a mixture more than two components are present. So to separate the components of a mixture, different method is used. And how we choose the method of separation to separate the component of a particular mixture? According to the nature of the component of a mixture, we get a pure substance or component of a mixture. And you know that what is substance? Single pure form of matter is called substance, in which a single type of particle is present. So first separating method is to obtain dye from blue black ink. Ink is a mixture of dye and water. So dye and water are the component of ink. Ink is a mixture of dye and water. So how can we separate the dye from the water? Because water is a more volatile than dye. Volatile means a substance that that can be converted into gaseous form very quickly on heating. So in of these two material, water is a more volatile than dye. So on heating the mixture of ink, this is a mixture of ink. When we supply heat to this mixture, water is evaporated out. Water is evaporated out, and dye is remain left behind, because boiling point of water is less than the dye, and we can say that water is a more volatile than dye. So water is evaporated out firstly, and dye is left behind on this china dish. This is a china dish on which we place the mixture of dye and water. So this is a method that how can we separate the dye from the water. Next is to separate cream from milk. And you know that milk is a heterogeneous mixture, and in a heterogeneous mixture, milk is a type of colloidal solution. And you know that component of colloidal solution are divided into two parts: dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Dispersed phase in milk is oil. Oil in milk is a dispersed phase, liquid fat particles, and oil contain fat particles, or oil contain liquid fat particle, or fat is present in oil in a liquid form. So this is dispersed phase. And next is dispersion medium. In milk is water. So here we separate the oil from the water, but it is not possible to separate this oil by filtration method, because a particle of oil because a particle of fat particles is too small, cannot be separated out by the filtration method. So here one technique is used to separate these fat particles. That technique we called centrifugation technique. In a centrifugation technique, the mixture is allowed to be rotated, and in that condition, if this mixture of milk, if the milk is rotated out, in that condition, dispersed phase containing fat particles are set up themselves on the top position, and remaining part that we call dispersion medium is arranged at the lower side from the fat particles. So this is the method of separating cream from milk, because cream contain liquid fat particles. So milk is a colloidal solution. So suspended particles of this solution are too small, cannot be separated by filtration. So centrifugation technique is used to separate dispersed phase, that we call suspended particle also. Dispersed phase, the particle of dispersed phase called as suspended particles, from the dispersing medium, that is liquid, and in that condition dispersing medium is water, in which mixture is rotated at high speed. So this mixture is rotated at high speed, and that method we call as centrifugation. And because of the rotation of this mixture, lighter particle, that is dispersed phase particles, that is lighter, stay at the top of the mixture, and denser particles, here particle of water or particle of dispersion medium is denser particle or heavy particle, they are forced to bottom, and they are set up at the bottom, and while lighter particle are set at the top. And this is the cream that contains fat particles. So this method is used to separate the cream from milk. Students, next method is to separate a mixture of two immiscible liquid. And immiscible liquid means that the liquids that are not mixed with each other while they arrange themselves in a different layer, so that liquid we call immiscible liquid. So though two liquids, kerosene oil and water, are not mixed with each other, so they are called as immiscible liquid. And this is separating funnel. Why we use a separating funnel to separate the kerosene oil and water? Because by using this funnel, these two liquids are arranged themselves on the basis of their density in a different layer. So water density is higher, so water is arranged at a lower side, and kerosene density is less than water, so kerosene oil make a layer above the water. So miscible liquids separate out in layers depending on their densities. So this method is used to separate a mixture of two immiscible liquid by using separating funnel. Students, next is to separate a mixture of salt and ammonium chloride. And ammonium chloride here is a sublimable component. Sublimable means the component that directly convert into gaseous form without coming in a liquid phase. This component directly convert from a solid form into gaseous form without coming in a liquid phase. So this is a sublimable substance. So to separate this sublimable substance from salt, we use the sublimation method. And sublimation is the process by which component is allowed to be converted directly into gaseous form without coming in a liquid phase. So this is a mixture of ammonium chloride and salt, and this is allowed to be heated. And then after if this mixture is allowed to be heated, ammonium chloride forms vapors, and when vapors cools and condense, it gets solidified on the walls of this funnel. So this method here to separate the ammonium chloride from the salt. And salt is not a sublimable. If we heat the salt, then firstly salt convert into liquid phase, and after then it convert into gaseous phase. So when this substance or this mixture is allowed to be heated, and at firstly vapors of ammonium chloride are formed, and before the vapors of salt, because salt is not sublimable component. Salt firstly convert into liquid phase, and it takes time to form vapors, and before the formation of vapor of salt, vapors of ammonium chloride forms and gets solidified after being cooled on the walls of this funnel. So the reason behind this, that because this mixture contains sublimable component that can be directly converted into gas, so sublimation method is used to separate the mixture of salt and ammonium chloride. To separate mixture that contain a sublimable component from a non-sublimable component, and in this case salt is a non-sublimable component, the sublimation process is used. Students, next method here is for the separation of the different components of a mixture. You may have seen about the dye. You may have seen the dye. So to separate the component of a dye, that dye that you see, that is a mixture of different components, and the dye may contain two or more color in it. So how can we separate the color of dye? When dye is dissolved in water, it forms ink. So ink is a mixture of dye and water. Dye also contains two or more colors. So in this separating method, we separate the color of dye and the component of dye. So to separate the component of a dye, chromatography technique is used. And what is chromatography technique? Let's discuss. So students, let's discuss that how can we separate the component of a dye. So this is the separation of the dye in its component based on this concept that dye contain two or more color, and color can be separated from each other on the basis of their solubility in water. Okay, and you know that what is solubility? That solubility means that solubility tells us that how much amount of solute can be dissolved in solvent at a given temperature. So if more amount of solute can be dissolved in water is if more solute if the more amount of solute can be dissolved in solvent, it means the solubility of that substance is higher in water. And if less amount of solute can be dissolved in water at a given temperature, so it means solubility of that substance or that component is less. So students, the component of dye that is more soluble in water or more amount of solute can be dissolved in water, so that component rises faster, rises quickly, and while less soluble component rises comparatively slowly. What is the mean of this line? Here, this is a filter paper and a line is drawn by pencil on this filter paper, and this is a spot of ink. And then after we put this filter paper on a jar containing water, and the water and this spot of ink should be above the level of water. And we left undisturbed for this apparatus for some time, and filter paper, some part of the filter paper is dissolved in water, but the spot of ink should be above the water level. And then we observe after some time that water started to be rises upwards, and as water starts to rising up, in that condition this ink also the component of ink also starts to be dissolved in water. So suppose this is a spot of ink. So as what so and this is this filter paper is dipped into water. So as water starts to be rising upwards in this filter paper and component of dye is soluble in water, and suppose this dye contains three color. This dye contain three color, and here three color, one is red and other is blue and other is this pencil color, and this is the order of the solubility of these three components of a dye. So this pencil color component of a dye rises faster and rises quickly by dissolving the water, because its solubility in water is high amount of this component dissolved in water, so this its solubility is higher other than components. So in this filter paper, this component of a dye rises faster, rises quickly, and attain a large height other than components, rather than these two components. And then second number, solubility of these blue color components. So this blue color component attain this height, and this height lesser than this component. And the third number component is red color. So red color component and the component of dye that is having red color attains lesser height than these two components, because its solubility in water is less. So on the basis of the solubility, these components of dye attain a different height, because this rises faster, this rises less faster, and this rises slowly comparatively, these two components. So by this, here you are seeing that dye that is made up of three components, on the basis of its solubility, the components of dye gets separated into three parts: red, blue and pencil color. So I hope you have understood this method, and this is the method of chromatography. Suppose here I make a red color. So here three layer of color and three component of dye get separated on the basis of their solubility. First number red, second gray color, and third blue color. So why we use chromatography? This is the reason that component of dye that is more soluble in water rises faster, while less soluble components rises comparatively slowly. So these two components rises slowly comparatively the red component, so they attain lesser height than the component of red color. Okay, and this is the method that how chromatography technique is used. After this is a filter paper, and we draw a spot of ink in a line. That line is drawn by pencil. So after dipping the filter paper in jar, leave it undisturbed. Watch carefully as the water rises up on the filter paper. Firstly, water rises up on the filter paper and it takes along with it the dye particles. So as water rises up, so along with this water, components of dye also starts to be dissolved in water according to their solubility. So the colored component of a dye that is more soluble in water rises faster, and in this way colors get separated. And this is jar, this is filter paper, this is pot of ink, and here paper clips are used to attach this filter paper on the surface of the jar. So I hope you have understood these all method. Thank you.